Hiya folks, and welcome back to Fishing with Den. Okay, so as you can see, I'm on one of those big reservoirs again today. You can only see this corner, but it goes for miles that way as well. And the reason I'm here is actually to do some experimentation and to get some practice in for a big match in about 6 weeks' time. Now, I was hoping the swim I'm in was going to be somewhat deeper. I've chucked out with a bomb to about 45 turns, and it's about 18 feet deep. The place I'm going to be fishing is the same as last year, and at that sort of amount it was probably more like 40 feet deep, but we'll go with what we've got. So what I'm going to do is I'll get the usual 6 feederfuls of bait out, and then we'll start fishing. But the experimentation side is this one. Now you see, standard looking sort of den type feeder, but it's got this thing on the front here, look. And this is like a Flavour feeder for the summer. The idea is that I'll use this barbecue marinade syringe, and I'm going to inject molasses in through this hole. I'll have stopped up the bottom with just a little bit of ground bait, and the idea is that it goes down, hits the bottom. Of course the ground bait breaks up in the usual way, but because I'm quite often on these big venues, it can take 2 hours to get a bite. Now I haven't fished this venue for about 6 years, so I don't know, but anyway, if it takes me 2 or 3 hours to get a bite, then obviously you needed to draw the fish in, and that's what this is all about. Now I'm going to use molasses in there, but you can use whatever you like, that's not a problem. So why have I put it on there? Why didn't I just inject it straight into the ground bait? Well, because it'll soak into the ground bait just like any other glug does as well. Yeah, you can just sort of dab it on the top, but even if it doesn't soak in, it's probably going to sort of come off as it's going down, especially if you've got 30 odd feet of water. So that's the idea of this. What happens is you put it in at the top, and when you're casting, centrifugal force of course keeps it in. The bottom, as I said, is plugged up with a little bit of ground bait. It goes down, hits the bottom, and then gradually the ground bait comes out over a minute or so, well, probably a few seconds, and then it leaks out both this side and ends up on this flat part here. Now I did have that coming to the ends as well, but basically all that happens is it comes down off there and drops down onto the ground bait, and it's putting some sort of scent into the water. But this way, this gives you like a table for it to sit on, and it's an experiment, guys. Look, I don't know if it's going to work or not, but it gives you a table, and that will hopefully mean that the wave action and fish action will just waft the bait around. I've got some more ideas for doing other different versions of this, but this is just the first go. So as I say then, I'm going to just go in with this normal big Boscher feeder, put a load of bait in, and then we'll wait and see what happens. I'll obviously put that one on straight after I've finished doing this. So what I'm going to do, I've got some corn, which is going in. I've got some hemp, which is going in. And I've got some pellets, which are also going in. And then to start off with, I'm just going to plug it off with some ground bait. I'm going to put it in fairly tight because obviously we've got an 18-foot drop, and I think that's just caught round the end of the tip. Just bear with me. Okay, so the plan then is, let's get this out there and get this show on the road. Got a marker. Just hit the clip just about. I'll need to go a little bit further, but can you see the purple on the line? I've got the rubber band on, which I showed you the other week, and the purple line is there to indicate, just in case I ever need to break the band off and then put the band back on again. I know exactly where I am. Okay, so strike that off and repeat another 5 times. Let's hope we hit the clip this time. Yeah, there we go, hit the clip. So I was probably a metre short last time, but hey, first time I've done this for a while. You can excuse me for that, I hope. Right, just wait for it to get to the bottom. Got 18 feet of water, so it's going to take a few seconds to get down. And another, just yank it all out, and 4 to go. Back when I've got these in, and I'll show you me putting the other one on and how to how to fill the new feeder. Okay, so that's the last of the feed gone in for now, I'll just change this over and I can find the other one. Here we are. Just clip him on. It's a 30 gram weight in the back and the feeder weighs about 15 grams. But before we actually fill it up, I suppose we better put some bait on because we're going to be fishing this time. Let's find a... I've got a size 10 Preston KKHB hook on. Got a long tail and I'm going to put 4 or 5 bits of corn on. Quite small, the corn in this tin today. That's what it's going to look like. And as far as this goes, what I have to do first of all is to fill up my syringe. So, just put this down somewhere safe for a second. Sort myself out. Okay, now, hoping you can see this. Literally takes a bit of strength to do because molasses is very syrupy. That should be plenty for now. It's also very gooey and sticky and sweet. Okay, put that away. And the plan then is to fill the feeder in the normal way. Now I know you can't see this at the moment, but oops, just dripping it on myself. I'm going to fill the feeder up. Hang on. Normally I'd be putting a bit of pellets and corn and whatever in, but you can see that the feeder's full. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get a little bit of ground bait and just block up the bottom. Then push that in, and when this comes out of the top, there you go, look, whoops, there we are. So that's it coming out of there. Never done this before, so bear with me. So the idea is, as I said, we put this in and it spreads a scent further afield so we can get fish in more quickly. Right. Okay, just hit the line clip. I've got a tree in the background which I'm aiming to. Just let it sink and then we'll just reel in until we're ready. About there. And make sure the line sinks. Just trim the tip a bit. And that's us ready to rock and roll. Be interesting to see how fast bites come. As I say, I haven't fished this place for probably 6 years now. Giving it a few minutes, and so now I'm going to reel it in and I'm going to repeat the process just to make sure I've got plenty of smell out there, but also of course to make sure I've got plenty of ground bait pellets and other particles out there. So this time I am going to put a little bit of everything into the ground bait, and again I know you can't see me doing this, but it's just the basic sort of stuff. That's the ground bait and pellets and things in. Just that little bit of wipe over on the bottom there to hold the stuff in. Molasses in this case, not the easiest thing to hold. Push it right in. I've made the hole for this so it fits the nozzle. Put too much in there, but you can see how it comes out. Okay. Okay, at least we're hitting the clip properly now. As I say, I'm using the rubber band method, which I showed you a few weeks ago. Quite like it personally. It means I don't have to, if a fish runs this is, and I can't stop it, I don't have to open the bail arm and then release the line from the clip and potentially get smashed up. As I showed you, you can literally just pull it and it'll break, and you put another one on for the next time. which is why I've got that purple piece of line there just to mark exactly where it needs to go. As I say, if you aren't sure what I'm talking about, just watch the video. Just to keep things regular, I've got my stopwatch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast in every 4 minutes for a while, just to, as I say, keep plenty of bait going in, keep that fresh scent going into the water. Did the tests in the kitchen, and it's taken around about 5 minutes for it all to dissipate off the feeder. At least the bait stayed on this time. So each time then it's going to be a little bit of hemp as usual, a little bit of corn, and a few pellets. Ground bait's just the usual turmeric flavoured den stuff. No point in chopping and changing particularly. We know it works, and it's not as though anybody else uses it, so it's not going to get blown, as they say, as far as a bait goes. Right, just shift that out of the way, push that in. There we are. Okay, well, get this back out there. A couple of bits fell off at the end there, but that's okay. Okay. Start the top stopwatch again for the next 4 minutes. I mean, obviously you could just do this without the stopwatch, which is what I've done in the past, but again, today is experimentation, so at least this keeps me regular, as they say. Well, that's another 4 minutes gone by really quickly. I think what we'll do is just have a quick look in the feeder and see how we're dispersing the feed. Well, that's actually nice and clean, so it's obviously dissipating quite nicely within the time. This is about the 19th representation of this summer flavour feeder. Not sure what I'm going to call it yet, but something like that. And I tried all sorts of different things, and this seems to work the best so far, and certainly it ain't hurting, is it? There we are. Just make sure you hang the needle over the edge, because frankly this is a mess. Molasses is horrible to get on your fingers, so sticky. Whoops, get it right then. Oh, just had my first knock. Literally, it's just that, and that is 45 minutes in. So, movement. As I say, normally it can take easily 2 hours or more before you get a bite. So, is it indicative? Well, it's looking positive. It's not necessarily proof yet, but hey, movement. Oh, definite bit of a liner there. This is about 3-4 minutes further on from the last one. No, actually it's a bit more. It's probably about 6 minutes further on. I've still kept putting under the feeder out every 4 minutes, and obviously putting the flavour in as well. Just the thing to talk about the flavour side of things. I think you really want something which is fairly syrupy, because you don't want it to be just literally water sort of consistency. It's going to stay in better on the cast. Obviously you've got centrifugal force, and molasses certainly, it's like treacle. And we're just coming up for 4 minutes on this cast as well, so That's not bad. Less than an hour in, certainly, and if you can get an extra hour's worth of bites, that's a hell of a difference on a match. As I say, not conclusive, but you know, more than I have been getting in some of these big places I fish. Could easily be even 2-3 hours sometimes on those. Actually, what I will do this time, it's 4 minutes is just up. I'll bring it in, and I want to try something else. Obviously, I've got that barbecue marinade injector, which I thought was quite a good thing, and it does seem to work. But I'm not all that keen on having a syringe sitting on my side tray, just in case the bailiffs come around and say, "What are you doing there, mate?" Mind you, it's a bit of a big needle, isn't it? Let me just sort my bait out, and then I'll show you something else. Right, so I'll put some bait in the feeder, and then instead of using the marinade injector this time, I'll still just top off the bottom bit a little bit, make sure that's fairly clear. Right, got a little bit of stuff in it, but this was a bottle of kids PVA glue that they use for going to school with one of these screw tops, and I don't know if that's gonna... Oh yep, that came out quite nicely. So probably continue to use this, actually. Seems like a good idea. Got the hook caught around the net. Okay, that's something else we've learned today. Don't have to carry a big hypodermic needle. Hypodermic needle in. Okay, but we've had 2 indications now in the last couple of casts, so I'm hoping fairly soon we'll be actually getting a bite. That'd be right, wouldn't it? Stuck on the bottom. Could do without that, couldn't you? Come on. That's actually hurting my hands. Oh, something broke. I could be minus a feeder at this point. There's trees and all sorts in the water over here, so you never know what's happened. And no, can't feel any weight, obviously lost it. Well, looks like we'll be re-tackling again here, and I haven't got another flavor feeder, just as I'm starting to get a few indications. You'd have thought the hook length would have gone, but it must have been the feeder that was caught on whatever that snag was. Oh well, better tackle up again. Back in a minute. Okay, try this one. That's better. Yeah. Well, let's hope they've turned up. We won't be able to use the molasses anymore, but hopefully it's done its job, because they were starting to get a few bites. So for a first test, that seems to have worked fine. Right. Oh, I just had a pluck then. Obviously a liner, but they're there. Just a question of getting it to pull round. I've got some pellets which I can use as bait, but don't normally need them. They're jumping all over where I'm fishing. I'm in 18 feet of water and they're on the surface. They don't feed on the surface in these places, but they are actually right on top of my bait. Oh, I've got a feeling that's a bite. Yeah, just I blew my nose. First bite. Whew. Just hope there's no more trees down there. Last time I fished this place, the level was probably around about where I'm fishing, out at 45 or so metres, and as I say, I'd have been sat on dry land there, but at least we've got a bite. Now there's all sorts of weed down here as well, and the fish has come off, and guess what, it's dragged me through all this weed. But as long as we're getting bites, I'm not too fussed. That's the thing. That is the thing. I knew there was weed beds either side of me, but sitting in this bay, can't see any in front of me, but obviously it's deeper and they're a bit sunken. But hey, it is what it is. We've had a bite, and that's the main thing. And we're before the 2 hour point as well, which is kind of positive. Just using a sort of a normalish feeder now. As I've probably mentioned, the only difference is it's only got very thin slots in it, so it doesn't allow too much bait out on the way down. Where I'm going, it's going to be ending up to 30-40 feet deep, so you don't want your bait all coming out on the way down. Of course, if you've got the usual feeders with loads of holes in it, it just allows more water in and more bait out. Anyway, enough waffling done, let's get back out there. Getting plenty of plucks there. They're all liners. Oh, that's not a liner, is it? Oh, he's taken off. That's where you have to break off that elastic band. See how that worked? This is what I was talking about a few weeks ago. This must be a decent fish. Taking plenty of line. Just hope there's no trees in the water down there. I don't think you can see in front of me, or sorry, to my left, just in here, but there's sticks and things sticking up all over the place. And that could well be what I got caught up on when I lost my rig. But there's also trees out there and all sorts, because of course this is a flooded valley. So who knows? Just get the first couple of fish in to be a bit more confident. He's got a good pull on him, hasn't he? Now he's going around to these weed beds here. Come on, fish. Oh! Sometimes you can pull through them, but not always. Just try and... I can feel him jerking in them. That's the problem. He's a big fish, look at that. Snarled up. Coming through, coming through, coming through. This is why I've got heavy duty line on. It's 0.28, which is in guru terms for the drag line, £8, but anybody else's it's probably more like 10 or 12. I'm pulling him right through this weed bed at the moment. It's not easy, just as long as he keeps coming. Come on, keep coming. Yep. Oh, he's out of the weed bed, I think. He's just off to the left of it. Come on. Come on. Back in the bed again. Whew. Right, we're just off to the left of it now. He's actually fairly close to me, so... Right, I think we're out of the weeds. Whew. Yeah, look at all this lot I've dragged in. There's a fish, look. Look at all this stuff that's with it. And there we go. Well, here's this stuff, look. Not all that strong on its own, single strands, but together can be a pain. Right. I'll just show you this one. It's not very big really, probably, I don't know, 5-6 pound or so. But he took off well, didn't he? There we are, look. He'll do, won't he? He'll do. Ooh. Let's get back out there. I think if I come back here I might use a different swim. But I don't know if it's all like this all the way around. I have seen quite a bit of it. Ooh, still, we've caught one, and time is probably, come on, yeah, just coming up for the 2-hour point. It always seems to be that, but I mean, did that molasses flavour feeder bring them in? Certainly seemed to be getting bites a bit earlier. Good news is it can't hurt to use the flavour feeder, because it's just a normal feeder with flavour if you want to use it, and if you don't, well, don't. Okay, well, I kind of enjoyed that. All a bit nerve-wracking, but hey. Right. Oh, yeah, we're getting little knocks there and things, so yeah, he's on. Again, we've already got weed, and we're solid in something like that. Look at that, completely solid. See if we can give him a bit of, and then try and get him in. No, not going to happen, is it? There must be a tree out there or something. Oh, that's snagged up good and proper, isn't it? That was a good fish too. Well, I think we picked one of those swims today. But the good news is, I am starting to get bites. And it's moving away from me, look. It's just, see if it'll take line and then let's have a look. It's a shame that it's so snaggy out there. I did use a snag pit, didn't I? Nope, that's not coming back, is it? Ah well. Looks like it might get cut short yet today. Oh, we're free. Not quite sure what we're free of, but we're free. And the fish is still on. Well, I thought I got a load of weed. No, it's definitely, oh, definitely a fish. Sorry, I had the anti-reverse engaged, and I don't usually do that. Well, there's some snag out there though, isn't it? It's going to cause me all sorts of problems today by the look of things. Doesn't look like there's so much of that streamer weed just out that way though, it's all out that way. And luckily the fish has come straight in. Not as big as the last one, but it's working. I think the next iteration of these feeders I'll make a little bit narrower than the ones I've got at the moment. They aren't circular, they're sort of ovalish shape, I suppose you want to call it. I'll show you in a sec. Not even all that big at all really, is he? Plenty of go in him though. Right, hang on. Gotcha. Okay, he's not big, he's only in the sort of 3-4 pound range, not huge at all. We'll just let him go. Let's have a look at these feeders. As I was saying, this new batch I've made sort of flatter and shorter just to see. And we've also got the just the slits in the side, but you can see how it's sort of like an oval sort of a shape. Another version of it with the enclosed end, but this one is the same height but longer look, or slightly bigger. These ones I don't think are as good. I'm going to make these ones a bit longer, but at least we're catching though, so I'm perfectly happy now. Just hope we can avoid that snag a bit. Oh, and again. So they're starting to come quite well now, aren't they? You notice I'm trying to reel and get past that snag, whatever it is, straight away. It's worked for the last couple of fish, but they were smaller than that first one. Oh, it's quite a small fish, this one. I just saw him on the top. And we've avoided the weeds as well, streamer weeds. He's not very big at all, this guy. I would think a couple of pound. But again, don't they fight? Pristine fish. Never been caught before. They still manage to leap out of the net, don't they? Come on. Oh, want a chuck now, eh? Well, that tip was still settling and it was going round. And it's come off, but that must have taken literally as it hit the bottom. Oh, we're just trimming the tip up. It's had all the bait anyway. Well, good sign though. Oh, that's a drop back, I think. Yeah, because he woke up then, didn't he? Just keep him down the middle. Just keep him coming steady. I just don't want him kiting to the right or the left for that matter. Yep, I think we're doing okay. Keep going, pal. Just keep a steady wind on and they'll keep coming for a while. They'll wake up in front of me, of course, but that's alright because there's no real weeds down there. Or none that I know of anyway. Yeah, he's just to the left of that weed bed over there at the moment. No, he's not. He's trying to go for it. Okay. That'll be fine there. Well, it's working anyway. As I say, once you've got the fish coming, you don't necessarily need to put the flavour in. It's just really to get them here in the first place. Whoa! Right, this time, fish? I doubt it. Oh, there you go, you're in. Probably about 5. There must be millions of these 5-pound fish in these places. Millions and millions. But I'm catching and I'm happy. Oh, that's a bite, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know, it might just be worth trying a longer tail on the hook length. Ah, no! That snag. Oh, we moved. No, we're off. We're off. Oof. Yeah, a longer tail because I think they're following it down. So I've already got something like 2 feet, 60 centimetres or so. But maybe it needs even more. We're stuck in that reed bed. Come on, come on, come on, come on. No, stuck in it. Keep pulling through. Come on, keep pulling. This is where you worry about your tackle. Now, snagged up good and solid here, aren't we? Right in the weed bed. Okay, I don't want to do a damage to the rod, so what we'll do is we'll see if we can pull it out by hand a little bit like we did last time. Yep, pulling through, okay. Barbless hook, so I've got to be careful. Yep. Things I have to do to catch fish. Still in that weed bed, but coming. Okay. Right. Out of the weed bed anyway. This is why I like the Guru drag line. It's like Maxima. It's the same sort of diameters for the same breaking strains that they state, more or less anyway. And whoa, fish! Thought you were done. And it's bulletproof as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Wifey's taking pictures of me. She's come for the picnic today. It's unusual in itself, mind you. I suppose wedding anniversary I had to make an offer, didn't I? There we are. A decent enough fish. I reckon he's a good 6.5 going on 7 actually. Oh, actually, I'll show him to the wife. Ah. There we are, look. One for you guys and one for the wife. Ah. Well, that's all right, isn't it? Whew. Well, I've had 1 or 2 that I haven't shown you, plus the ones I have shown you, so we're obviously catching reasonably well now. Just got to find a way to make these fish come before the 2 hour point on matches. There you go. I'm getting blasé now talking to the wife. Nice and easy. So look, where we're at the moment then is that I'm catching plenty of fish. Obviously in these places you can usually expect to do that, but for a match you just need to maximise. So what do I think of the Flavour feeder? Well, again, jury's out. Did it bring the fish in a bit earlier than it would have otherwise have done? Maybe, maybe not, but it can't hurt, can it? Oops, that's come off, hasn't it? Come off and snag me up, hasn't it? Yes, I think it's snagged me up. So it can't hurt. And also these feeders that I'm using now, they're going to have to be slightly modified. But for the purposes of the video, yeah, certainly it went almost as well as could be expected, I suppose. But as I say, I really would have liked it to have started feeding a bit earlier. This one's actually taken my hook length on whatever it was, snagged me up over there. So I'll put another hook length on and carry on. But for you guys, I'd say that's it for now. I'm going to be back again in the next few weeks with some slightly different models to try, and then we'll be on to that big match that I'm talking about in 5 or 6 weeks time, and I'll be out fishing for about 3 weeks, or 2.5 to 3 weeks on my own, travelling about anything up to about 3,000 kilometres, something like that, I suppose, all told. The wife's obviously not coming with me on that one. But yeah, that's it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, if you did, give me a click on the like button, please. It always helps with the YouTube's algorithm. If you want to subscribe, that's even better. And if you want to make a comment, please feel free to do so at the bottom. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to carry on, and I'll see you guys next time. So bye for now.